Happy New Year's, you guys.
Yay! 2022's here.
It is, thank God. And I'm happy to say goodbye to 2021 and 2020.
Ditto.
But it was a great year in real estate.
Yes.
Yep, in spite of the low inventory and the multiple offers and the global pandemic.
Just a few obstacles.
But it really helped us push ourselves, and the strong survived. So
Yes.
I think that's a huge win for all of us.
And we survived. And anyway,
Yep.
It's a new year, and we want to talk today about how to make this your greatest year, whether you're buying or selling or investing, or even if you're just one of our favorite listeners and you think we're just interesting and funny. But we are here today at the Ultimate Baseball Academy because people here come here to improve themselves, and 'tis the season.
Well, you know, with New Year's always comes New Year's resolution, and I am the queen of making those. I don't know what the ratio is that I still am doing them in March, but I start really well. So
Start with a good mindset.
Exactly. So, you know, the few things that people do New Year's resolution on are fitness, finance, small business owners, obviously business goals, relationship goals. You know, everybody has their own thing, but I thought fitness is a big one. It's an easy, you know, it's easy for a lot of us to start. I don't know,
I
do
feel
we
like it's
stay?
very universal.
It is.
Kind of goal
Right.
for a lot of people.
So here at Ultimate Baseball Academy, they actually have a individual fitness company called First Peak Performance, and their manager, Carri, is going to be with us today.
First pick performance.
Hey guys.
Hello, Carri. Thanks for joining us
Yeah,
today.
absolutely. Thanks for coming to check out the gym.
Okay, Carri, thanks again for joining us today. First Pick Performance. Said it right. Okay, so what's your advice for people that like me that start fitness off strong in January? What do I do?
Yeah, so I mean, the biggest thing is kind of think about why you want to start in the first place. Don't just think, I want to start because, you know, I have to. Find a reason behind that. And then kind of set large-term goals and small-term goals. Reach those smaller goals first, you know, maybe something, buying a new outfit for ladies, even guys, buy a new outfit.
Right.
Just simple things like that.
Right.
And then maybe having a larger goal. If that's weight loss, you know, whatever that is, finding that number. If that's a vacation you want to look good and feel good for. It's just finding those motivations and why you want to be doing it.
Oh, I love that, you guys. That ties back to like the whole mindset and like having a to-do list to reach like that larger goal.
Yeah. And I like that, like new shoes every 10 pounds.
Well, I even think like sometimes with fitness, I mean, it still takes me a while to get there for clothes. So it's like lifting maybe a heavier weight and just like those little milestones to then say motivate and like, now I gotta get a new dress or new pants or whatever it is.
Yeah, I like that you said lifting, you know, the heavier weights, because women typically think just cardio, but they don't realize how important actually lifting those weights is and getting stronger and feeling more confident with, you know, the heavier weights that they are lifting, and yeah, how good it is for them.
Nice. And to me, it's impressive that you are a woman and a manager of a gym and a training facility. Are you unique?
I would like to think so, I guess. I kind of played a male-dominant sport growing up. All through college, I played hockey. So
Oh, wow, okay.
that was a tough navigation as well, and so I think it just kind of pushed me right in there. And definitely, it has its challenges every single day. Being a female in this industry, getting high school and college boys to listen to me, even getting male coaches to respect me is, you know, the biggest thing. But that's just where you have to be strong and stick with the mindset and what you want to be doing. So
good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And the facility is baseball and softball, right?
Yes.
And so are the workouts catered to those sports, or are they, is Pick Performance overall physical health?
I would say overall and kind of specialized, obviously overall physical health, but those relationships as well that we want to stress with the kids. And then we have so many different teams coming in, whether that's baseball, softball, volleyball, basketball, you name it. We just had a new soccer team join, just different, all kinds of different sports like that. So it's going to be catered towards their team. And, you know, obviously the age, we have 7-year-olds all the way up to college professional athletes that come in here. So it's just kind of learning those different pathways and where you need to take with those athletes and those kids. And
So what's your advice with, you know, getting a trainer versus doing it on yourself and kind of the accountability portion? How much do you think that plays into being successful?
Yeah, I think it has a huge factor in it.
Accountability piece is so tremendous.
Yeah, you know, if you're going on your own, it's easy to just, oh, I don't want to go today.
Right.
Just not go. Where, I mean, if you have a trainer or even a friend to go with, you know, they're counting on you to be there and they're expecting you to be there. So you can't just say, oh, I don't want to go today. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, why don't you want to go today? And they're going to ask those questions and kind of motivate you to get there and whatnot. And
Perfect.
Don't we know that?
Yeah. Some days you need that person to say, get your butt up, get moving.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, hopefully, and I like your tips because I am such a goal orientated in everything I do. So I think, you know, just your simple fact coming off that treat myself for the small things, not like, I'm just working out for this vacation, who I haven't been on a beach in 2 years. So that is a must do this year. Please, Omicron end. So I like that. I thank so much for you for joining us today and letting us be here at your facility. And, you know, the Ultimate Baseball Academy and First Pick Performance, they're your go-to. Tell us though, you're more with teams.
yeah.
Just talk a little bit about that for a grant in you.
Yeah, so we do a lot of like athletes and teams and whatnot. So we have classes where kids can come in and join it without their team and whatnot. Typically, a lot of them come with their friends. They plan that time. They want to come with their friends. And
Nice.
But then we have teams that come. So those coaches set that up with us, and they kind of stress all their kids to go. Once again, they're with their teammates. They're having a reason to go. Yeah,
So
and
you're
go-
building everybody up.
yeah.
It's not the top 3 performers.
Yeah,
You're taking
exactly.
the whole 12 kids, whatever, and building everybody up, which I think is good for
Yeah.
everybody. Because a lot of times, you know, those top 3 spend all their time and effort, but if, you know, maybe they're motivating the kids that are just doing it to get out of the house,
Yeah.
the physical fitness for everybody is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I love training teams because they're constantly, you know, motivating each other and building each other up. And
Nice.
yeah.
What a cool
Love
thing
it.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Proud of you. You know, and us at Sell It Sista, we're all about women
Yeah.
power. Hey, you're on our side.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us today. All right. Happy New Year.
You too.
So that was awesome. I think
Yes.
Carri hit on some awesome points about not just goal setting, but having that mindset and that accountability, because I think we do that too. You both are such positive people, and it's such a joy sitting here, not just at the table with you, but working with you both. And
A lot of people say that about me.
I know. But so did you guys make your beds this morning?
No, I rarely make my bed. I make my bed when people come over to the
Yeah,
house.
I'm not a bed maker by nature, but
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, you are a bed maker.
Yes,
Every time I
I
come
am.
to your house, your bed's made.
Well, it also helps living in a ranch. You have to make your bed because people, if they stop by, they see
they
your
come to
bedroom.
your house, yeah.
If they come to your house, they see your bedroom. We're a 2-story. You don't have to make it because no one goes upstairs.
So McRaven wrote this book. He was a Navy SEAL, and he wrote this book called Make Your Bed. And it's really just about completing a task at the start of your day every day, because your mindset then is that you've accomplished something.
Right.
Yeah.
Check.
And I love that your mindset is set for the day. It's not just having a to-do list and checking things off your list, because I'm a total list maker, but
Right.
I love it that Meg gets up at 6 a.m. and works out now, because
Yeah, so my husband and I, we got ourselves a trainer, and he comes to our house, and we get up at 6 a.m. And I mean, it goes back to what Carri was saying, the accountability piece. And I think for both of us, if it weren't for my husband or myself saying we're going to do this, I don't know if we'd commit to move forward with
Right.
it. And the other crazy part of it is he comes to our house, so if we are not up, it's a bit of an issue. So
He's standing on the porch,
that
bringing me
out of bed.
Yeah, there's that accountability piece with that, and it's don't wake up my children, so I better
Yeah.
get up and
Have the door unlocked and ready to go.
Exactly.
But I think
so,
that mindset is so important to make you achieve your
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
So
well, and I mean, and for us, it's so I didn't make my bed this morning, but it is when we have our 6 a.m. workouts. holy moly, huge check in the box
Yeah.
of I completed something tough
Right.
for me because I am not the workout girl.
I
at
am
all.
proud of you.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. I don't work out.
No, but yeah, I don't either. And we know this about Megan and I. Like, we do not work out. Like, stepping into a gym, like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
even stepping into this gym
Yeah.
you notice we're like not wearing workout clothes.
No. Megan's like, I don't even own workout clothes that I go in public with. For me, I was always a big workout for a goal, for a daughter's wedding, for a vacation that I'm definitely going on sometime soon. So, and then I quit. But this year is going to be different.
Yes.
And I'm going to stick with it. So we'll see. But
So mindset too, like everybody says, write down your goals, write down your goals. Do you write down your goals?
I have a vision board every year, yes.
Yeah.
And some are written down, some are photos of things I want. But yes, I am big on visualization.
Like everybody probably knows that the three of us are part of an accountability group. So we're good at like writing down goals. I mean, I write down like dumb things like unload the dishwasher, like because I like to like
check
things off. But
I'd say that's not a goal though. That's a to-do list, which is a big difference. So.
it is. But I think that if you ever read the book 12-week
12-week year,
like I think you can make to-do lists based on your long-term goals, and you try to get one thing done every day.
And it goes back to, again, what Carri was saying. It's like, you've got to have your big goal and then break it down into smaller pieces. You can't eat the elephant all at once.
Correct.
And so then you kind of look at it, it's way too overwhelming. So then what do I have to do to make it little steps? And then again, you can kind of celebrate along the way of like, I did do that, and I accomplished that. And so, because you do need to hear the achievements and the accolades along the way. Otherwise, it does get to be too much.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially, when everybody's contemplating New Year's resolution and there's multiple, what you're working on, what your top 3 are. And if you look at the broader picture of, I'm getting out of debt this year and I'm losing 20 pounds and, I'm going to spend more time reading the Bible, or I'm going to spend more time with my kids or my loved ones, that's overwhelming. So if you just say, this month I'm going to talk to all my kids once a week or something, or, you guys are lucky.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you guys get to see your kids every day. Me, not so much. So, it's the little things I think that help us get to the big goal. And, it gets me excited.
So what are a couple things on your goal list this year?
Well, and it's kind of interesting. So I have business goals, and then both Aaron and I, we do sit down and do family goals, couple goals. So, I mean, it's like we have goals as our family, we have goals as us, like growing together as a couple, things like that. And a lot of those are, financially driven. What do we want to do? How do we want to continue to grow? Goals for me are always like, high production for work. We're looking at, investment properties, things like that. So wanting to grow that. And for my 5-year-old, we've kind of started talking to her about goals, and so her goal is wanting to start swimming lessons.
Nice.
And so
that's
it's
awesome.
just like we as a family are trying to talk about those things even at a very young age of like, what do you want to do? How do we get you excited? What do we need to do to help you accomplish that? And so it's just trying to drill it into them at a very young age that it is important to think about big overall picture of what you want to do.
Megan wrote an article, and I don't know if you saw it. She wrote an article a couple months ago, a takeaway from Drew Brees, and I'd love it if you shared that concept with our listeners.
Yeah, so I was able to get to go to the National Association of Realtors National Convention in San Diego back in November. Drew Brees was one of the main speakers that we had.
Go Saints!
That we had at the event. And the one thing that I really got a huge takeaway from his talk, and it was really kind of cool because it kind of talked about how he ended up in New Orleans, things like that, and how he was never really supposed to go there. He was originally he was planning on going to, I believe, Miami, but then all of a sudden, just through fate, and I don't know if it was someone in the New Orleans football system was like, Drew, please come down here. And I think it was soon after Katrina, and they're like, what are you trying to do? Trying to get this big shot, Drew Brees, to come here.
Okay.
Like, we've got no shot with, Katrina. The city looks like a disaster. Anyways, he went down there and absolutely fell in love with the city. And I don't know if it was like a coach, a mentor. I think it was a mentor of him. The one thing that he kind of really left him with is you need to master, mentor, and make a difference. So first of all,
Great
you need to
philosophies.
master
Yeah,
your
I love
craft.
this.
Yeah.
I love
Master your craft.
Master
Okay.
your craft. Get really, really good at what you're, at what you're at, and then go ahead and start mentoring. So once you've mastered that, then pay it forward and mentor someone new, mentor many others, and then again, once you've kind of hit that pinnacle of it, then you are really starting to make a difference. So start to leave your legacy and make the world a better place than how you found it. So I mean, that's really kind of what he's done with New Orleans. Is they've started a foundation down there. They are working with the city closely of like, what are the city's needs?
Right.
How do we rebuild houses? How do we get people back in their homes? How do we bring the city back to life? So that's his legacy that he's trying to leave for the city of New Orleans. But I really thought it was kind of a cool, powerful message.
And I love that because I think you can master your craft, whether that is mastering making a meatloaf and teaching your kids how to do it. And they pass that recipe down for the next 5 generations.
Right.
I think that's so important. And whether your goal is spending time with your kids or selling real estate, I think that is
And I think
amazing.
I think it's also important to know that no two goals of people ever need to be the same. So, it's like, especially like relating it to the business world. We have some agents who are, sell 1 or 2 houses a year, but that is perfectly exactly where they want to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then you have agents selling 60, 70, 100 homes a year. And that's where they want to be. So it doesn't matter, but own where you at and own your goal. And I think that's really important, and do and then just put the steps in place to make that happen.
Right. And I like the concept of the legacy. So, as you all know, watch the show, I started getting into investments last year and had an investment. It was a roller coaster ride, but it got finished. It's great. Now we're on our second investment. So I've now brought my so my middle daughter is my partner, but now I'm like, I want to bring my other girls on. So they're on they have the first quarter of this year to save money, and the next investment property we're buying it together, all 4 girls.
That's fun.
Because I want to bring that to them. I'm like, I'm not going to go this ride alone. I want all my kids to profit.
Yep.
So it's kind of exciting. So that's kind of my legacy thing for real estate, is like, you know what? I've kind of learned the system. Yeah, they don't want to sell real estate because it's a little stressful every day. So they can't do that. But you know what? Why not create the wealth for them as well?
And
That's
Carrie,
right.
you know what? I feel like that's exactly what Aaron and I are trying to do for our girls, of just showing them the ropes and leaving that legacy for them.
Leaving that legacy.
Yeah, where Molly's got all the boys. So she's got a different story with carpooling and sports every day. I'm over that. Megan hasn't started.
I haven't
Molly's
started that.
in the
Yes,
midst.
yes.
We will get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're bringing in the family, leaving a legacy.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Your little girls are going to be slinging hammers here before it's all.
We actually hope so. So we wouldn't be opposed to that, and we want them to know that this just doesn't come to you. It's a lot of hard work, and it's like, we need you to know about it. So
So let's talk to our listeners about some of the financial goals. As long as we're bringing our kids into it, let's share with the listeners maybe some of the financial goals that people should be looking at in the new year. I know you just said that there was only 362 homes on the market.
On the market in the Omaha metro area. Crazy. There's just,
you never think the number can get lower until it does.
Right.
And then
I mean,
just,
there's not even enough houses for every realtor in Omaha to look at one. I mean, we're over 4,000 realtors now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what's everybody doing to stay busy? And it's just like, it's just crazy.
So a couple of things that I think people should be looking at, whether you're buying, selling, investing, rates are still historically low.
Yes.
Rates, I think, were 3.3 Monday. Still really low, but
they're ticking up.
They're ticking up, but I
ticking
mean,
up.
still, you've got to think about the big picture of it. They're still historically low, even though they are ticking up.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember 7% wasn't out of the ordinary.
I bought my
at all.
first house 7.85.
Yeah, 1994, 8% interest is what we paid, and thought it was a great deal.
Yeah.
So rates are predicted to head up. They're predicted possibly 3 times this year just to balance inflation.
Right.
But I think the rental market is predicted to still be really, really hot this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that's going to push some first-time home buyers out, but I think what people need to be thinking about is that it's a great time to buy.
It's still, yes, it definitely is still a great time to buy, but I, can't, stress enough. You've got to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. You've
Right.
got to get pre-approved. You've got to have a good concept of what's going on in this market if you want to be successful.
Right.
Carrie is working her tail off right now
Right.
with some, under 250s?
I got 4 under 250, and we are going out every day. We're writing offers. We're back to writing letters. And you got to just make yourself unique and stand out.
Yep.
But I won't even show a person a house unless they're pre-approved.
Yeah.
It's not worth my time, not worth the seller's time cleaning their house and
Yep.
getting out. So you know what? We want to be respected. So I'm going to make sure I have qualified buyers going out. And and maybe you got to prepare them that you're approved to 250, but maybe we're only looking up to 230
Yep.
in case we have to escalate or we got some appraisal issues. So it's about educating your buyers, but it's a strong market. It's just tough that there's not the inventory for the buyers out there.
Yeah,
But
and they're also hoping that number will increase as
Right.
well,
And it will.
and it usually does. I mean, usually this time of year, historically, we have super low inventory,
Correct.
and then come springtime,
Yeah.
things start to pick up. But I don't know if any of you watched that Brian Buffini,
The bold
the bold
predictions.
predictions, and like their bold predictions. And then again, this is a nationwide scope, but that the first-time home buyer will continue to be really strong, kind of like the first half of the year. And then once interest rates start to go up, that might kind of knock some people out just because
They're going to lose their buying power.
they're going to lose their buying power.
Right.
But they're like, the upper end market is still going to be incredibly strong
Yeah.
because we still have lack of inventory. And, sometimes when you're in the upper end, you're either cash or you've got the flexibility to
Right.
have a
You
little
got
bit
heavy
buyer
equity.
power.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and historically low rates.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
still.
But if you're renting or in your parents' basement, get out. Time to buy. If you have an interest rate right now that's over 4, refinance.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
is the time.
Yes.
Um,
And 99% of the time you can refinance for 0 out of pocket. And so why not do it? And you can skip a couple payments during the process. So you're saving money, getting a lower interest rate. And you can even traditionally you can do a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage. But I had some people last year, they had 23 years left. So they refinanced and lowered their payment and lowered their
Yes.
mortgage to 20 years.
Yes.
That's huge.
So they saved money all around. So, there is flexibility. Everybody's being creative right now, so and they're back to sometimes if it's a refi, they just do a drive-by appraisal. They're not even coming in your house.
Yes.
Well,
If-
and I think that kind of goes into like your financial goals, and
Right.
and it's just like look at all that stuff, and the new year is a great time to kind of reset that, and
Right.
it's like, what are our interest rate? Is there things worth looking at? And this is also a good time for you to reach out to your realtor and say, what's my house worth? And so it's like, do you buy? Do you refinance? Do
Right.
you do a HELOC if you want to finish your basement or do
Right,
something like
right.
that?
Yes.
So it's like this is kind of a awesome time for just a huge mental reset.
Yeah.
Yes, call your realtor, call your financial
Exactly.
advisor.
Yeah.
Like, use your professionals. Most professionals, will talk to you at no cost, but now is the time. The economy is strong with the housing market, and use your assets and your equity to gain financial wealth. If you have paid down your home, or if you've been in your home for 5 years, get rid of your PMI. You can lower your monthly housing payment. It's time. And probably if you have a good realtor who sold you a house, they're probably reminding you anyway. But if you did not have a good realtor,
Here's your
probably don't-
reminder.
Yes, here's your reminder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
PMI reevaluate.
Other financial goals probably should include saving for a rainy day. This
Absolutely.
pandemic has been really eye-opening for a
Yep.
lot of people, and houses are coming out of forbearance now, which is probably a scary time for a lot of people, especially with this crazy COVID, with 95% of all of the viruses right now being Omicron variant. I don't think we're going to shut down again. I don't think we're going to look like we did 2 years ago by any means, but there's still a lot of people who, aren't really excited about going back to work. And
Yeah, and the workforce, I think, is forever changing. And, I have more friends and family that work from home now than ever before. Some are going back, some are going back part-time, some say they're never going back. So then if you're never going back, do you need a bigger house? Do you need a smaller house? What's your need? What's your family look like? I have a couple now that waiting for a counter on an offer we submitted. They're both working from home. So, now they're in a 1-bedroom apartment. She works in the bedroom, he works in the kitchen. And, we got to buy at least a 3-bedroom home so everybody's got a home office. So she said they're in 2 very different fields, and both are told they're never going back to the office. So it's just
crazy. It's such a crazy
everything
time.
is evolving and not what we thought it would be. 5 years ago when I was in new construction, everybody said the houses are shrinking. We're getting smaller, open concept. Now I believe we're going back to bigger, closed concept.
Yep.
Everybody's doing at least 1 home office, if not 2 spaces for home office that I've talked to building this year.
Well, and the only market that's really, I felt like, has somewhat suffered is the downtown market.
Yep.
And so it's like the condos and
Yep.
things like that, just because 2020 turned the world upside down and needed a little bit more space.
Correct. So
Well, I think 2022 is going to be a great year. I
agree.
think it's going to be great for everybody, whether you're buying, selling, listening, whether you're making an amazing meatloaf, whether you're making a difference, whether you're mentoring, whether you're leaving a legacy. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. Join us on Instagram, Facebook, our website. You can find us almost anywhere, wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also find us on YouTube if you love staring at our lovely faces. We are Sell It Sista.
and we want to say make it a great day. Happy New Year,
Happy New
everybody.
Year.